Today's presentation on the Principles to Action Reflection pages 1 through 11, I want to go over the first 11 pages of Principle to Action. So on Principles to Action, or these first 11 pages, I've gone ahead and I have categorized the different slides and how they're going to be represented here in this presentation. Challenges. Okay, so in 1989, the NCTM launched a standards-based education movement in North America. They came up with the Common Core state standards for mathematics that 45 of the 50 states adopted, and they showed significant progress. One of my favorite examples of progress here is fourth graders and eighth graders in proficiency in math. Fourth graders increased in that 23 years from 1990 to 2013 by 29%, and eighth graders increased by 21%. Now, that doesn't mean there's still not places to improve on. All right, some of the challenges we as a nation still face when it comes to mathematical education is the persistent racial, ethical, and income achievement gaps that students face. This has resulted in the United States falling behind many other countries in mathematical proficiencies, and only 16% of the U.S. high school seniors being proficient in mathematics and interested in a STEM career as of 2014. Now, changing, troubling, and unpredictable realities. Okay, so we have these unproductive realities. There are unproductive realities that we face here in the United States that teachers have to face because of either political issues or because of parents or because of just other teachers who think that there is a one way to teach math, and it is unproductive. It is a way that has been improved upon, and we need to focus on ways to constantly improve and do better. There's too much focus without connection to meaning. Just learn the math and do it. Teachers need a better way of getting materials and having better professional development based on math. There is a list of ways of guiding principles for school mathematics. We got teaching and learning, access equality, curriculum, tools and technology, assessment, and professionalism. Okay, I want to focus on the teaching and learning aspect. 5 interrelated strands when it comes to effective teaching and learning that constitute mathematical proficiency. There's conceptual understanding, where you understand and comprehend the connections between the math you learn and problem-solving real-world situations and connecting together. Procedural fluency, right? Where you have you understand the meaning of the procedures of solving problems. Strategic competence, are able to formulate, represent, and solve mathematical problems. And adaptive reasoning, where the capacity to think logically and justify one's thinking reflect the need for students to develop mathematical ways of thinking as a basis for solving. And the last one, productive disposition. All right, so productive disposition goes over the fact that you need to have a way of not only understanding the math, but being productive and explaining it and understanding it. Gone over the interrelated strands. Let's go over mathematical practices. What students are doing as they learn mathematics. These kids are sitting here, and some kids are interested in math, some are not. But our goal is to help these kids as best possible to be proficient in math. And they're trying to make sense of the problems as they're sitting there. We need to help and teach them to reason abstractly and quantitatively, as in we need to let them think about not just a problem in front of them, but different ways of figuring out and solving this problem. Right? They need to construct viable arguments and critique the reasoning and critique the reasonings of others. Model with mathematics. Use appropriate tools strategically. Attend to precision, so they need to be precise with their answers. They shouldn't just be a general, well, it's probably going to be this. Look for and use of structure, and look for and express regularity in repeating reasoning. Okay, this is a lot to come after, but the idea is we want these kids to look at math as not just one direct way of answering it, but multiple ways of answering and understanding the multiple ways of answering it. Now, productive disposition. This is probably one of the most important of the 5 interrelated strands of mathematical teaching. All right, these kids need to have these problems, and they need to engage in challenges. They can't just be given a paper with just question after question after question. They need a way to relate these math problems to the real world and real problem solving, so that they can understand it better. It clicks better in their head, and they can connect any new math that is taught to the previous math that was learned, and they can all just work together. And that is one of the greatest ways we can help kids today as teachers is by showing them the productive disposition of connecting and teaching the rules of math and applying it to real world concepts. All right, and then now we'll move on to mathematical teaching practices. Okay, what is a framework for strengthening the teaching and learning of mathematics for our students here in the United States? There are several different ways. There are 8 different points here, but one I want to focus on is support productive struggle in learning mathematics. Kids these days, not just kids, it's kids in general, they enjoy a challenge, but they enjoy a challenge when they're interested in the challenge. They want to be interested in the challenge. So if we can find a way to take real world problems and give it to them in a mathematical sense, so they can be like, you know what, I'm gonna figure this out, and if I will come to you if I have to, but this is my challenge, and I want to accomplish it. And I love that about how kids love to just learn because they feel that challenge to accomplish their goal. Now, there are obstacles that we all have to face, or that every teacher has to face. There's the old school precedent of you teach the math block by block. Here you go. This is the rules, and then you apply it to a math problem and you move on. That is not what we need to do. We need to move on and progress past these obstacles and do better to teach kids real world problem solving. All right, in conclusion, teaching mathematics has come a long way from 30, 40 years ago, but the progress is not over. We still need to work to do better. There's still so many ways that we as educators can improve our education techniques that allow for more students to reach their potential and become mathematically proficient and successful. And I look forward to learning those different techniques.